Hey everybody, welcome to week 3 of History 330W. This week we're getting into queer history, and I think a lot of you are going to be pretty confused because it's going to go against what you think it's going to be about. So what I'm going to do this week is give you an explainer on LGBTQ or queer history, which has its roots in gay and lesbian history, which has its roots in the public history movement. Maybe I'll get into that a little bit later. All right, but I thought to get us started this week, we would get into something really juicy, which is primary document analysis. So this is what it's like to be doing queer history. All right, let's have a look at this political cartoon? What's the word I'm looking for? That was published in the 1890s in Britain. Now, there's a lot of cultural iconography going on in here that would have been immediately understood by an audience reading this newspaper in the 1890s, but not to us. So we have to look at all the clues in the document and see what we can decode it. Basically, we have to decode it because we don't have that cultural knowledge anymore. It's lost to us. So let's have a look at this cartoon now. And it's interesting to me. So when you want to look for evidence, where does your eye go first? Do you look at the drawing? Do you look at the text? Just curious. But we're going to take in everything. So the great social evil. Some of you may have taken a history class, a British history class perhaps, could have been Canadian or American though, where the social evil came up. So maybe you already know what that is. But if you don't, you're going to have to do some decoding to see if you can figure out what's happening in this cartoon. All right, so we've got a title, The Great Social Evil. We've got two women talking to each other. So the time is midnight, so we know it's at night, in the evening. A sketch not 100 miles from the Haymarket. So what is the Haymarket and why is that location significant? So we'd want to look that up. And Bella says, so we just have one person talking. So who is the one talking? Can you tell from the image? Bella says, Fanny, how long have you been gay? Exclamation mark. All right, so if I gave this to you without any context whatsoever, I'm guessing you would probably think, well, so one thinks the other is a lesbian. What is it about this picture that says she's a lesbian? Okay, that's a reasonable guess based on our contemporary cultural framework. But this is not the end of the 2010s. This is the 1890s. So we have to think, well, what does it mean? So the other piece of evidence, well, there's several other pieces of evidence here. First of all, we have this style of dress. So the one woman who's speaking is the woman on the right. And so she knows the other woman by name, yet they appear to be of a completely different class by their clothing, right? So how is it that they know each other? And then the other piece of evidence is the poster on the upper right corner, La Traviata. So we know that's a famous opera. So this is outside of an opera hall. Does it look to you like the front door or the back door? All right. So who's likely to be hanging out at the back door of a theater? What well-dressed woman would be hanging out at the back door of a theater? And it's midnight. So what kind of women are out at midnight in the 1890s? So all of these are clues that can help us interpret what's going on. So I'm not going to tell you what gay means. I want you to know, what does gay mean here in this image? So you figure it out and come to class and tell me the answer. And then, okay, that's level 1. Level 2, well, I will tell you, it doesn't mean homosexual. Okay? So level 2, how do you think this might be a clue to the origins of the term gay for homosexual? Oh, it's getting harder and harder. You thought this was going to be an easy class? No. Sex is hard. It's not easy. Okay, have fun with that, and I'll talk to you later. I'll see you in lecture, which is coming up next.